For decades, gout sufferers were given a simple rule: avoid beer at all costs. This prohibition has cast a long shadow, turning a simple pleasure into anxiety. The fear of a gout flare is powerful. Doctors knew beer was linked to higher uric acid levels, the cause of gout's intense pain. But what if this old rule is no longer the full story? What if scientific advancements have changed the game? A different story has been unfolding, one that promises to rewrite the rules and offer a new sense of freedom. The definitive guide to beer and gout is finally here, and it starts with a question. Can you drink beer with gout? The answer, based on science, is yes, but only if it's the right kind. After research, we can now separate the myths from the scientific facts. The truth is more hopeful than the old wisdom suggests. The key is to understand what truly causes gout flares, and how to choose options that sidestep the danger entirely. The real issue lies with specific compounds called purines, which are found in high concentrations in traditional beers. These purines are the main fuel for uric acid production. If purines are the main problem, then a beer without purines should be safe. Thanks to innovations primarily from Japan, a new category of beer has emerged: zero-purine beer. This guide will walk you through the science step by step. One of the most persistent myths about beer and gout is the idea that the alcohol content is the sole villain. However, focusing only on the alcohol misses the main culprit entirely. The truth is that it is not the primary reason why beer is so uniquely dangerous for gout sufferers. The real issue lies deep within the very ingredients that make beer what it is: its extraordinarily high concentration of compounds called purines. Beer, due to its core ingredients like malted barley and brewer's yeast, is absolutely loaded with purines. In fact, scientific analysis shows that traditional beer can contain anywhere from 10 to 50 times more purines than other alcoholic drinks like wine or spirits. This makes beer a purine powerhouse, delivering a massive dose of uric acid precursors directly into your system with every sip. It is the massive upfront purine load from beer that makes it stand in a category of its own. Another common misconception is that all alcoholic drinks pose the same gout risk, but different alcoholic beverages have vastly different effects on uric acid levels. Beer is the most problematic due to its high purine content. Wine and spirits have minimal purine content because of their production processes. Scientific studies confirm the risk difference between alcohol types. Beer is uniquely hazardous. Some studies suggest moderate wine consumption might even have a protective effect. This shatters the myth that all alcohol is the same. Understanding this empowers smarter, safer choices. Choose wine or spirits over beer. This myth is perhaps the most deceptive and dangerous of all for gout sufferers. Many people switch to non-alcoholic beers, hoping to enjoy the taste without the consequences. Unfortunately, this is a trap. Many non-alcoholic beers can be worse for gout than alcoholic ones. They can contain higher concentrations of purines due to the manufacturing process. The process can concentrate purines from the malt and yeast. You might unknowingly consume a greater dose of compounds that will spike your uric acid. Non-alcoholic only tells you about alcohol content, not the purine load. Unless engineered to be low in purines, assume it carries a significant risk. Japanese zero-purine beers are a completely different, safer category. Brewers use special enzymes to remove purines during brewing. A Japanese zero beer is genuinely safe, while a standard non-alcoholic beer is often a hidden danger. Many believe the sugar in beer is a major gout trigger, but the real culprit is its purine content, not its sugar. Beer contains far less sugar than sodas. It's the purines from malt and yeast that drive uric acid production, making sugar a minor concern for gout sufferers. Beer is packed with purines from malt and yeast, which your body rapidly converts to uric acid via the xanthine oxidase enzyme. This direct purine superhighway is why beer is the top dietary trigger for gout, far more than any other drink. Alcohol in beer not only increases your body's own uric acid production, but also blocks your kidneys from removing it. This double hit, more production, less removal, makes alcoholic beer especially dangerous for anyone with gout. Brewer's yeast is a hidden purine powerhouse in beer, especially in unfiltered or bottle-conditioned styles. These beers deliver a heavy purine load, making them some of the riskiest choices for gout sufferers. While beer contains a little sugar, its impact on uric acid is tiny compared to purines and alcohol. For gout risk, focus on purine and alcohol content. Sugar is a distant third. Beer triggers gout by combining a massive purine load, alcohol's double effect on uric acid, and a minor sugar contribution. This perfect storm is why beer is uniquely potent in causing gout flares. Purines remain the main enemy. Not all beers are created equal, and some types pose a higher gout risk. High-alcohol beers like imperial stouts, double IPAs, and Belgian strong ales should be avoided. Their high alcohol content amplifies the problem by increasing uric acid production and disrupting kidney function. Also avoid bottle-conditioned or unfiltered beers like craft ales, German Hefeweizens, and Belgian-style beers. These contain live yeast, which is very high in purines. A high-alcohol, bottle-conditioned beer is the worst-case scenario, maximizing gout triggers. These beers should be avoided entirely. Moving into the medium risk zone, we find most popular beers: lagers, pilsners, pale ales, and wheat beers. While not as threatening as high-alcohol stouts, these still pose a risk for gout sufferers due to their purine content. Dark beers like stouts and porters derive their color from roasted malts, concentrating purines. Scientific analysis shows darker beers have higher purine levels. Everyday lagers and pilsners, though filtered, still contain purines from malted barley. American and European lagers fall into the medium-high risk category due to purines and alcohol content. Wheat beers carry a similar risk. Wheat, like barley, is a purine source. For gout sufferers, steering clear of these styles is often the safest choice. As we continue down the risk pyramid, we find ourselves in a category that many people mistakenly believe to be safe light beers and non-alcoholic beers. These options seem like a logical choice for someone trying to be health conscious. They offer less alcohol or fewer calories, which feels like a step in the right direction. However, when it comes to gout, these beers exist in a confusing and often misleading space. While they may carry a slightly lower overall risk than their full-strength counterparts, they are far from being a truly safe harbor. Understanding their specific drawbacks is essential to avoid falling into a common trap. Let's first consider light beers. The primary characteristic of a light beer is its lower alcohol content and fewer calories. The reduced alcohol is a genuine, albeit small, benefit for a gout sufferer. Less alcohol means a slightly weaker double trouble effect on your uric acid production and kidney function. However, the most critical factor, the purine content, is often unchanged. Light beers are typically made using the same purine-rich ingredients as regular beers. The brewers simply use techniques to lower the final alcohol and carbohydrate levels. This means you are still consuming a significant purine load, making light beer a low to medium risk option, not a no-risk one. It might be slightly better, but it's certainly not good. The case of non-alcoholic beers is even more complex and potentially more dangerous, as we've discussed. The myth that NA beer is safe is pervasive. By removing the alcohol, you do eliminate the secondary risk factor of alcohol metabolism. This is a positive step. The problem, however, is that the dealcoholization process can actually concentrate the purines that were already in the beer. This can result in a non-alcoholic beer that has an even higher purine content than a regular alcoholic lager. You trade a secondary risk for an even greater primary risk, which is a very poor trade-off for someone with gout. Because of this, non-alcoholic beers must be viewed with extreme suspicion unless they are specifically marketed as being low or zero in purines. A standard NA beer from a major Western brand is a gamble you should not take. It falls into the low-risk category only because the alcohol is gone, but its hidden purine punch could easily be enough to cause a flare-up. These lower-risk options are ultimately a compromise that still carries a tangible threat. They might be chosen in a pinch, but they are not a reliable, long-term solution for enjoying beer without fear. Finally, we arrive at the bottom of the risk pyramid, in a category that was purely theoretical until very recently. This is the minimal risk zone, a space reserved for beers specifically engineered to be safe for people with gout. These are not just lighter or less bad options. They are fundamentally different products designed to tackle the root cause. This category is currently dominated by remarkable innovations from Japan, the zero-purine beers. These beers represent the single greatest breakthrough for gout sufferers who wish to enjoy a brew, moving the conversation from risk reduction to risk elimination. The science behind these beers is what sets them apart. Brewers of brands like Kirin Zero, Sapporo Zero, and Asahi W-Zero do not simply remove the alcohol. They employ advanced enzymatic technology during the brewing process to target and eliminate purine compounds from the malt and yeast. This means the purine superhighway is effectively closed before the beer is even bottled. The final product contains virtually zero purines, the primary driver of beer-induced gout. This is a game changer. It means you can drink a beverage with the taste, aroma, and character of beer without flooding your body with raw materials for a uric acid spike. By removing the purines, these beers neutralize the main threat. Some are also non-alcoholic, eliminating the secondary threat of alcohol metabolism, making them the absolute safest possible choice. Even zero-purine options with low alcohol are vastly safer than traditional beer. Without the massive upfront purine load, the minor metabolic effect of small amounts of alcohol is far less significant. These beers have been clinically studied and shown negligible impact on uric acid levels, confirming their status as genuinely gout-safe products. This minimal risk category represents a new era of choice and freedom. For decades, the only advice was to avoid all beer. Now there is a scientifically validated alternative that directly addresses the core biological issue. These Japanese zero-purine beers are not a compromise, they are a solution. They allow individuals with gout to participate in social rituals and enjoy a cold beer without looming fear of agonizing pain. They prove that with scientific understanding and innovation, it's possible to separate beer's pleasure from its perilous health effects, marking a true turning point in gout management. For generations, beer was off-limits for gout sufferers, but in Japan, brewers saw this health challenge as an opportunity. This sparked a revolution, leading to something once thought impossible: a genuinely safe beer. Gout is a common concern in Japan, and with beer deeply rooted in its culture, there was immense demand for a solution. Companies invested heavily in R&D to fundamentally re-engineer beer. Their goal: to remove the primary trigger for gout attacks, allowing people to drink without fear. Years of research led to isolating and removing purines from malt and yeast. This innovation represents a paradigm shift in diet and health management, offering a safe alternative backed by rigorous science. The birth of zero-purine beer is a testament to the power of innovation to improve quality of life. Japanese zero-purine beer relies on science, not magic. The key is an enzyme called purine nucleoside phosphorylase, or PNP, sourced from button mushrooms. PNP breaks down purines in the wort during saccharification. The yeast then consumes the remaining compounds during fermentation. This dual action reduces purines to near zero. The result is a true beer, re-engineered for safety with the same flavor and aroma. Thanks to this incredible Japanese innovation, gout sufferers are no longer left without options. Several major Japanese breweries have successfully brought zero-purine and purine-free beers to the market, giving you specific, trustworthy brands to look for. These products are clearly labeled, often using the words Zero or W-Zero to indicate their special properties, usually referring to zero purines and zero sugar. Knowing which brands to seek out can empower you to walk into a specialty store or browse online with confidence, knowing you are choosing a product that is genuinely safe for your condition. One of the most prominent and widely available brands is Kirin. Their line of purine-free beverages, such as Kirin Zero, has been a leader in this category. These products are celebrated for achieving a clean taste while being completely free of purines. Kirin has invested heavily in the science and marketing of these drinks, making them a household name in Japan for health-conscious consumers. Another major player is Sapporo, a brand recognized worldwide. Sapporo also offers purine-free options, sometimes combined with zero alcohol, providing what is arguably the absolute safest beer-style beverage for anyone managing gout, as it eliminates both the primary and secondary risk factors. Asahi, another global beer giant, has also entered this market with its innovative products. The Asahi W-Zero is a popular choice, advertising a double-zero promise of zero purines and zero alcohol. This makes it another excellent option for those wanting to be as cautious as possible. You may also come across brands like Suntory, with their all-free all-time line, which also focuses on being purine-free. While the availability of these specific products can vary depending on your location, they are increasingly being exported and can often be found in large supermarkets with international sections, Asian grocery stores, or through online retailers that specialize in Japanese goods. When you are looking for these beers, it is vital to read the labels carefully. Look for the specific claim purine-free or zero purines. Do not confuse these with simple low-carb or zero-sugar beers, which, as we know, do not address the main problem. The Japanese products are very deliberate in their labeling, so you can trust the claims they make. These brands are not just selling a beverage, they are offering peace of mind in a can, a scientifically backed guarantee that you can enjoy the social ritual of having a beer without risking your health. The development of zero-purine beer is a triumph of science, but its true impact is deeply human. For anyone who has lived with the constant threat of a gout attack, the psychological burden can be as heavy as the physical pain. Social events become a source of anxiety. A simple invitation to a barbecue or a sporting event can trigger a wave of worry. You are constantly on guard, scanning menus, politely declining offers, and feeling like you are on the outside looking in. This is the hidden cost of gout, a loss of spontaneity and a feeling of being defined by your condition. Zero-purine beer offers a powerful antidote to this. This innovation is about more than just quenching your thirst. It's about reclaiming a part of your life that you thought was lost forever. It's about being able to sit with friends on a patio, clink bottles and share in a simple, universal pleasure without a cloud of fear hanging over you. It's about restoring a sense of normalcy. The ability to choose a safe, enjoyable beer allows you to focus on the conversation and the company, not on the potential consequences of your drink order. This freedom is immeasurably valuable. It helps to shift the mindset from one of restriction and deprivation to one of empowerment and smart choices. Furthermore, the existence of these products validates the experiences of millions of gout sufferers. It acknowledges that the desire to enjoy a beer is a normal part of life, and it provides a constructive solution rather than a prohibitive rule. It shows that the medical and scientific communities are listening and working to solve real-world problems that affect people's happiness and well-being. This can foster a more positive and proactive relationship with managing one's health. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstance, you become an informed consumer who can actively seek out solutions that fit your lifestyle. Ultimately, Japanese zero-purine beer represents hope. It is a tangible symbol that scientific progress can lead to practical benefits that make a real difference in our daily lives. It proves that we don't always have to choose between our health and the things we enjoy. For too long, the answer to "can I drink beer with gout?" was a resounding and discouraging no. Now, thanks to the ingenuity of Japanese brewers, the answer is a confident and liberating yes, if it's the right kind. This is the freedom of a safe choice, and it has the power to change your relationship with gout forever. To understand beer's impact on gout, we need evidence from large-scale epidemiological studies. These studies consistently show a strong link between beer and a higher risk of gout. The UK Biobank study, following over 400,000 participants, found an undeniable link between alcohol and gout. Beer showed the strongest association with gout risk. A study in The Lancet found men drinking 2 or more beers daily were far more likely to develop gout. The link between beer and gout remains consistently strong, pointing to beer as a primary trigger. The evidence is overwhelming. Beer consumption is a major risk factor for developing gout. This underscores why the development of zero-purine beer is a vital breakthrough for public health. Population studies show us the what. Controlled metabolic studies show us the how beer affects the body. These studies connect drinking beer to a gout flare, confirming beer increases uric acid production while hindering its removal. Scientists found that after participants drank beer, their plasma uric acid levels increased. Analyzing urine shows that after drinking beer, uric acid excretion drops because its primary exit route is partially blocked. These trials create an ironclad case against beer for gout sufferers, explaining why it's gout's #1 enemy. After understanding the science, what can you actually drink without fear? Japanese zero-purine beers are the best choice. They eliminate the primary cause of beer-induced gout. For even greater peace of mind, select a brand that is both purine-free and alcohol-free. Wine, particularly red wine, has shown a neutral or slightly protective effect when consumed in moderation. Similarly, distilled spirits like whiskey, gin, vodka, or rum are also very low in purines. These options provide a clear and safe path forward, proving that a gout diagnosis does not mean the end of enjoying a responsible drink. Moving into the caution zone, this includes drinks that aren't absolute no's, but carry enough risk to warrant infrequent consumption, careful planning, and ideally, guidance from your healthcare provider. Light beers seem safer due to lower alcohol, but still contain purines from malt. It's a smaller punch but can still contribute to flare-ups. Non-alcoholic beers are tricky because removing alcohol can concentrate purines. Never assume an NA beer is safe just because it lacks alcohol. Only consider it if labeled low purine or if you can verify its purine content. The decision to consume anything from this zone depends on your health status. If you're experiencing symptoms, have unstable uric acid levels, or aren't taking medication consistently, the caution zone should be off limits. Finally, we come to the red zone. These beers pose a high risk to gout sufferers and must be avoided completely. There is no room for negotiation with these drinks. They are the most powerful triggers for a painful gout attack. At the top of this list are all traditional beers. Everyday lagers, pilsners, ales, and especially the darker and stronger varieties. Their combination of a massive purine load and alcohol content makes them the #1 enemy of gout management. Equally dangerous are any beers that are unfiltered or bottle conditioned. The cloudy appearance of these beers is a visual confirmation of suspended yeast, which is one of the most purine-dense substances you can consume. They represent a clear and present danger that must be avoided at all costs. With genuinely safe alternatives like Japanese zero-purine beers, there is no longer any reason to take such a significant and unnecessary risk. For decades, the story of beer and gout has been a tale of absolute prohibition. We are entering a new age defined not by rigid rules, but by nuanced understanding. The critical shift has come from a deeper, more precise understanding of the science. We have identified the specific culprit, the massive load of purines from malt and yeast. It is not the essence of beer that is the enemy, but a specific component that can be removed. It is no longer accurate to paint all beers with the same dangerous brush. The development of zero-purine beer was the final revolutionary leap. This allows for a smarter and more personalized approach to managing gout. It means a diagnosis of gout no longer has to come with a lifetime ban on beer. This change empowers individuals to make safe, enjoyable choices. The dawn of this new era brings with it a new sense of freedom for those living with gout. This freedom is not about being able to drink any beer without consequence, rather it is the freedom that comes from knowledge and choice. It is the liberty to understand your own body, to evaluate the real risks of different products, and to select options that align with your health goals without sacrificing your quality of life. The fear that once accompanied every social gathering can now be replaced with confidence. You are no longer a passive victim of your condition, but an active, informed participant in your own well-being, equipped with the information to navigate the world safely. The key to this new freedom lies in embracing both education and innovation. Education is the first step, learning the science, busting the myths, and understanding the crucial difference between purine content and alcohol content. This guide has aimed to provide that foundation, clarifying why traditional beers are so problematic, and why alternatives like wine, spirits, and especially zero-purine beers are so much safer. This knowledge transforms you from someone who simply follows rules to someone who understands principles. It is the difference between being told not to touch a hot stove and understanding the physics of heat transfer. The understanding itself is empowering. Innovation provides the practical application of this knowledge. The remarkable work of Japanese brewers in creating zero-purine beer has given the world a tangible solution. These products are the embodiment of this new era. They are a testament to the idea that we can use science to solve health challenges without resorting to complete abstinence. By choosing a scientifically designed, gout-safe beer, you are directly benefiting from this wave of innovation. You are making a choice that was simply not available a generation ago. A choice that allows you to enjoy a cherished ritual without the dreadful anticipation of a painful flare-up. Ultimately, the future of managing gout is optimistic. It is a future where science defeats stigma, where innovation overcomes restriction, and where education conquers fear. The journey from the old rule of no beer, ever to the new reality of yes, if it's the right kind, has been a long one, but we have finally arrived. The choice is now yours. By arming yourself with knowledge and embracing the safe, innovative options now available, you can step into this new era of freedom, managing your gout effectively while living your life more fully and joyfully than ever before.